There are few pains as profound and heart-wrenching as the experience of someone leaving you. Whether it's the end of a romantic relationship, the loss of a close friend, or the departure of a beloved family member, the void left behind can be overwhelming. It's natural to grieve and shed tears when faced with such departures, but Buddhism offers a unique perspective on dealing with this kind of suffering. Buddhism, an ancient spiritual tradition that originated in India over 2.5 millennia ago, provides profound wisdom on how to navigate the complex terrain of human emotions, including the pain of separation. This video aims to explore the spiritual teachings of Buddhism and how they can motivate us to understand and ultimately stop crying if someone has left us. It is a journey towards healing and personal growth, grounded in the core principles of this ancient philosophy. One of the fundamental teachings of Buddhism is the concept of impermanence, which is central to understanding why people come and go in our lives. Impermanence is the idea that nothing in this world, whether joyful or sorrowful, remains the same. The Buddha himself famously said, "All conditioned things are impermanent." When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This notion of impermanence can be both liberating and challenging when it comes to dealing with the pain of someone's departure. On one hand, it reminds us that all things are subject to change, and that includes relationships. On the other hand, it highlights the inevitability of separation, which can be deeply distressing. However, Buddhism encourages us to embrace impermanence as a path to wisdom and serenity. By understanding that every encounter, every relationship, and every moment in our lives is transient, we can begin to release the suffering that arises from attachment. It's not about becoming indifferent, but recognizing that our happiness should not depend on the permanence of external circumstances. In Buddhism, it is believed that suffering is an inherent part of human existence. This suffering, known as dukkha, is caused by our attachment to the impermanent aspects of life. When someone leaves us, the grief and anguish we experience are a manifestation of this attachment. The second noble truth in Buddhism asserts that the cause of suffering is tanha, which translates to craving or clinging. When we cling to people and relationships, we set ourselves up for suffering when they eventually change or leave. It's important to understand that this clinging is not limited to material possessions, but extends to our attachment to people and our expectations of how they should be in our lives. The suffering that arises from the departure of a loved one is a profound example of this attachment and clinging. It is our unfulfilled desires, expectations, and the fear of being alone that intensify the pain of separation. However, Buddhism teaches us that we have the power to alleviate this suffering by recognizing and letting go of our attachments. By understanding the root of suffering, we can begin to transcend it. When someone leaves us, we can grieve and feel this sadness, but we don't have to let it consume us. Buddhism provides us with tools to recognize our attachment and work towards releasing it, thus reducing the intensity of our suffering. The power of mindfulness. One of the central practices in Buddhism is mindfulness, which is the art of being fully present in the moment, without judgment. Mindfulness can be a powerful tool to help us cope with the pain of someone's departure. When we're faced with the heartbreak of a loved one leaving, our minds often race with a flurry of thoughts and emotions. We may dwell on the past, wondering what went wrong, or fear the uncertainty of the future without them. This mental turbulence only amplifies our suffering. Mindfulness encourages us to anchor our awareness in the present moment. By observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we can gain clarity and insight into our suffering. We can recognize the impermanence of our emotional states and understand that they too shall pass. In moments of grief, practicing mindfulness can help us become more attuned to our emotions. We can acknowledge our pain without trying to suppress it or cling to it. This process allows us to heal and grow, as we gradually reduce the intensity of our suffering and find peace in the midst of emotional turmoil. Moreover, mindfulness can help us cultivate self-compassion as we learn to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding during difficult times. This practice can be especially powerful in the aftermath of someone leaving us, as we navigate the complex terrain of emotions. While the Eightfold Path is a profound spiritual practice, it can also be applied to the practical aspects of our lives, including how we deal with the pain of someone's departure. By embracing these principles, we can navigate the challenges of loss with greater resilience and understanding. Compassion and loving kindness. Loving kindness meditation, a specific practice within Buddhism, involves sending well wishes and positive intentions to ourselves and others. By repeating phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I live with ease," we cultivate a mindset of loving kindness and compassion. This practice can help us overcome feelings of self-blame and unworthiness that often arise when someone leaves us. Additionally, we can extend loving kindness to the person who has departed. Instead of harboring resentment or anger, we can wish them well on their journey, even if it means a life separate from ours. This is a profound act of forgiveness and letting go, which can bring a sense of closure and peace. In Buddhism, compassion isn't limited to those we care about. It extends to all sentient beings. By practicing compassion in the face of loss, we tap into the universal nature of suffering and the desire for happiness. This shift in perspective can help us understand that we are not alone in our pain, and that all beings experience the ups and downs of life. Finding meaning in suffering. Suffering is an inevitable part of human existence, and Buddhism acknowledges this reality. However, Buddhism also teaches us that suffering can serve as a teacher, guiding us towards greater understanding and enlightenment. When someone leaves us, it can feel as if our world has crumbled. We may wonder why this has happened and what purpose it serves. Buddhism suggests that even in the depths of sorrow, there is an opportunity for growth and insight. The concept of Dharma in Buddhism refers to the natural order of the universe and the path of righteousness. Our suffering, including the pain of someone's departure, can be seen as part of our individual Dharma. It challenges us to confront our attachments, our desires, and our fears. By embracing the suffering, we embark on a path of self-discovery. We learn about our vulnerabilities, our strengths, and our capacity for resilience. We gain insight into the impermanent nature of all things, and we realize that our happiness does not depend on external circumstances. Suffering, in this context, becomes a means to transcendence. This perspective doesn't diminish the pain of loss, but invites us to view it as a transformative experience. By seeking meaning and purpose in our suffering, we can find the strength to stop crying and start healing. The importance of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force that can help us navigate the emotional turmoil of someone leaving us. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of appreciating what we have in the present moment, rather than dwelling on what we've lost. When a loved one departs, we often focus on their absence and the void it creates in our lives. While it's natural to grieve this loss, Buddhism encourages us to also recognize and appreciate the positive experiences and memories we shared with that person. The practice of gratitude can be as simple as acknowledging the small joys in life: a beautiful sunset, a warm cup of tea, or the kindness of a friend. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, we can shift our focus away from what is gone and redirect it toward what remains. Additionally, we can express gratitude for the lessons we've learned from the relationship and the growth we've experienced because of it. This shift in perspective can bring a sense of fulfillment and contentment even in the face of loss. Gratitude is a practice that can help us heal and stop crying when someone leaves us. It reminds us that life is a tapestry of experiences, some joyful and some sorrowful, and that each thread contributes to the whole. Letting go and detachment. Buddhism places a strong emphasis on the practice of letting go and detachment. These principles can be especially valuable when we're dealing with the pain of someone's departure. Detachment does not mean becoming emotionless or indifferent. Instead, it refers to releasing our grip on the things and people in our lives. When we cling to someone, we create suffering for ourselves, as we become dependent on their presence for our happiness. Letting go is a process of releasing our attachments and expectations. It's about accepting that people, like all things, are impermanent. This practice can be challenging, but it offers freedom and peace. One way to practice detachment is to reflect on the impermanence of all things. Consider that every relationship, no matter how significant, is subject to change and eventual separation. By accepting this reality, we can reduce our suffering when someone leaves us. Additionally, we can engage in physical decluttering, letting go of items that hold sentimental value but no longer serve a purpose. This practice can be a metaphorical exercise in letting go, teaching us that we can release attachments and still carry the essence of our past experiences with us. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of community and the support of like-minded individuals on the path to enlightenment. When we're dealing with the pain of someone leaving us, seeking the company of understanding friends, family, or a spiritual community can be immensely comforting. Being part of a community that shares your values and beliefs can provide solace and guidance. Others who have experienced similar losses can offer insights and empathy that are invaluable during times of grief. They can remind you that you're not alone in your suffering and that there is hope for healing and growth. Engaging in spiritual practices with a community can also help you stay committed to your own personal development. Whether it's attending meditation sessions, participating in discussions, or simply finding solace in the company of others, the support of a community can be a lifeline during difficult times. Meditation is a central practice in Buddhism and can be a powerful tool in stopping the tears and finding inner peace when someone leaves us. Meditation offers a way to calm the mind, gain clarity, and cultivate emotional balance. One of the most well-known forms of meditation in Buddhism is mindfulness meditation, which we discussed earlier. It involves focusing on your breath, bodily sensations, or a specific object of meditation to bring your attention to the present moment. Through mindfulness meditation, you can observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, leading to a deeper understanding of your suffering. Loving-kindness meditation, another practice we've explored, can also be especially beneficial in times of loss. By sending well wishes and positive intentions to yourself and others, you can foster feelings of compassion and loving kindness, which can help alleviate the pain of separation. Additionally, meditation can be a means of connecting with your inner self and finding inner peace. In moments of grief, it can be a refuge where you can release your attachments and surrender to the present moment. Meditation is a versatile practice that can be tailored to your preferences. You can explore different forms of meditation, such as guided meditation, loving-kindness meditation, or mantra meditation, and see which resonates most with you during moments of loss. Additionally, you can consider combining meditation with other forms of self-care, such as yoga, nature walks, or creative expressions like journaling or art. These activities can help you process your emotions and find solace in different ways. Forgiveness and closure. Forgiveness is a pivotal concept in Buddhism, and it plays a significant role in finding closure and stopping the tears when someone leaves you. Forgiving others and yourself can be a challenging but transformative process. In the context of separation, forgiveness involves letting go of any resentment, anger, or blame you may be harboring towards the person who left. It's an act of releasing the emotional burden and freeing yourself from the pain associated with their departure. To begin the process of forgiveness, you can start by acknowledging your feelings. It's essential to give yourself permission to feel anger, sadness, or any other emotions that have arisen. Once you've recognized your emotions, you can work on letting them go, understanding that they only prolong your suffering. Practicing loving-kindness meditation towards the person who left can be a powerful tool for forgiveness. By wishing them well on their journey and genuinely hoping for their happiness, you can release any negative emotions and find closure. Moreover, forgiving yourself is equally important. Often, we blame ourselves for the end of a relationship or for not being enough. Buddhism encourages self-compassion and self-forgiveness, recognizing that we're all imperfect and doing the best we can. Closure can be a symbolic act that helps you move forward. It might involve writing a letter to the person who left, whether or not you send it, or conducting a small ritual to mark the end of that chapter in your life. Finding your way to forgiveness and closure can be a powerful step toward healing and stopping the tears. Buddhism reminds us that change is the only constant in life. Our existence is marked by impermanence and the continuous flow of events, including the coming and going of people in our lives. While this can be a source of suffering, it can also be a source of growth and renewal. Embracing change is about accepting that the end of one chapter paves the way for the beginning of another. When someone leaves you, it can be an opportunity for self-discovery, personal growth, and new possibilities. In Buddhism, the concept of anatta, or not self, emphasizes that nothing is permanent, including the self. While it may be challenging to grasp this concept fully, it encourages us to recognize that we are not defined solely by our relationships. Your identity, happiness, and purpose are not contingent on the presence or absence of someone in your life. Change offers the potential for transformation. Instead of seeing the end of a relationship as a loss, consider it a chance to explore new opportunities, rediscover your passions, and strengthen your self-worth. The path of healing is a personal journey that can take time and effort. Buddhism provides a roadmap for this process, but it's up to you to take the steps towards your own emotional recovery. The journey of healing begins with self-compassion, mindfulness, and the recognition of your emotions. These are the foundational practices that help you process your grief and find inner peace. As you move forward, remember that there is no set timeline for healing. You may experience moments of sadness, nostalgia, or even anger. It's essential to embrace these emotions with mindfulness, knowing that they are part of the healing process. Surround yourself with a supportive community that understands your spiritual journey and is willing to walk beside you during this time. Share your experiences and insights with others, and listen to their stories as well. This sense of connection can provide comfort and encouragement. Living in the present. Buddhism teaches us the importance of living in the present moment. This concept, often referred to as mindful living, encourages us to fully engage with our current experiences, free from the burdens of the past or anxieties about the future. When someone leaves us, it's natural for our minds to wander into the past, replaying memories, regrets, and what-ifs. Alternatively, we might fret about the future, imagining a life without the person we've lost. This mental time travel can intensify our suffering. However, mindful living invites us to center our attention on the here and now. By embracing the present moment, we can savor the simple joys, find contentment in the beauty around us, and discover a sense of peace that is independent of external circumstances. Practicing mindfulness can be as straightforward as taking a few moments each day to focus on your breath, observe your surroundings, or engage your senses fully. Over time, these small acts of presence can accumulate and help you cultivate a deep connection to the present. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, and it's a quality that can be developed and strengthened through Buddhist teachings and practices. The Four Noble Truths, the foundational principles of Buddhism, acknowledge the existence of suffering, but also assert that there is a path to the cessation of suffering. This path, as we've explored throughout this chapter, involves understanding the causes of suffering, adopting practices of mindfulness and compassion, and letting go of attachments. Cultivating resilience is about building emotional strength and the capacity to cope with life's ups and downs. By embracing the teachings of Buddhism, you can develop resilience that helps you stop crying when someone leaves you and emerge from the experience with a newfound sense of inner strength. Resilience is not about suppressing your emotions or denying your pain. It's about acknowledging your suffering, learning from it, and using that knowledge to grow and become more adaptable to life's challenges. It's about finding a way to maintain your sense of self-worth and well-being even in the face of adversity. When someone leaves us, it's not uncommon for our self-esteem to take a hit. We may question our worthiness, feel rejected, or harbor feelings of inadequacy. Buddhism teaches us to find self-worth within ourselves, independent of external validation. Practicing self-compassion is a fundamental aspect of finding self-worth. This involves treating yourself with the same kindness, love, and understanding that you would offer to a close friend. It means not being overly critical or judgmental toward yourself, especially during times of suffering. Loving kindness meditation, as mentioned earlier, can be a powerful tool for cultivating self-compassion and recognizing your inherent worth. By extending loving kindness to yourself, you reinforce the idea that you are deserving of love, care, and happiness. The beauty of new beginnings. In Buddhism, the idea of impermanence is not solely about the ending of things. It's also about the birth of new experiences and opportunities. When someone leaves, it creates space for new beginnings and fresh chapters in your life. Rather than seeing the departure of a loved one as the end of your story, embrace it as an opportunity for personal growth and transformation. Life is a constant cycle of endings and beginnings, and each experience shapes your journey. New beginnings can be exciting and filled with potential. They offer a chance to explore your own interests, rediscover your passions, and form new connections. While it's essential to honor and process your emotions about the person who left, it's equally important to remain open to the possibilities that lie ahead. Buddhism teaches us that each moment is an opportunity to start anew, to let go of past suffering, and to embrace the present with a sense of wonder and curiosity. The beauty of new beginnings is that they remind us of the endless potential for growth and happiness in our lives. Seeking professional support. While Buddhism provides valuable spiritual teachings for coping with the pain of someone leaving you, it's important to recognize that healing is a multifaceted process. In some cases, seeking professional support can be a vital part of your journey. Therapists, counselors, and support groups can provide a safe and structured space to explore your emotions, gain deeper insights, and develop strategies for healing. They can offer guidance in processing grief and working through the complexities of loss. If your suffering becomes overwhelming and interferes with your daily life, it's crucial to reach out to a mental health professional who can provide evidence-based interventions and support. Buddhism and professional support are not mutually exclusive, but can complement each other. The spiritual teachings of Buddhism can serve as a foundation for your emotional recovery, while professional support can offer specific techniques and guidance tailored to your individual needs. The pain of someone leaving you is a profoundly human experience that touches us all at some point in our lives. Buddhism, with its rich spiritual teachings and practices, offers a guiding light on this challenging path. Throughout this chapter, we've explored essential Buddhist concepts and practices that can help you stop crying and find peace in the face of loss. From understanding impermanence and embracing change to cultivating resilience and finding self-worth, these teachings offer a comprehensive approach to healing and growth. Remember that your journey is unique, and there is no prescribed timeline for healing. Be patient with yourself, practice self-compassion, and seek support when needed. The spiritual teachings of Buddhism, combined with your inner strength and resilience, can empower you to find peace, healing, and transformation in the wake of someone's departure. May your path be one of self-discovery, growth, and enlightenment as you navigate the complex terrain of emotions and learn to stop crying when someone leaves you.